Welcome back to class. We will be discussing today corporate governance and structure. Corporate governance and structure. And at this very module, we'll be exploring the foundational role of corporate governance in ensuring accountability, transparency, and ethical conduct within business organization. And this actually covers the framework through which complaints are directed and controlled, balancing the interest of various stakeholders. So this is what we will be discussing today. And by definition, corporate governance is the system of rule, practice, and process by which a company is directed and controlled. It outlines the framework for achieving company objectives, encompassing management fears from action plan to corporate disclosure. And it actually balanced the interests of stakeholders, including the shareholders, the directors, and employees. And you see from this that it's not only the employers, the directors, the shareholders that actually benefit from this, the employee also benefits from this. So what are the importance of corporate governance? And the first is transparency and accountability. It ensures decisions are made transparently with full disclosure. Also, it attracts capital by protecting investors' rights. The third is that it ensures adherence to statutory and regulatory obligations. Also, it helps identify, manage, and mitigate business risk. And lastly, it positions complaints for ethical and financial longevity. We have key actors in when we talk about corporate governance, when we talk about complaints, and we need to look at their roles in ensuring appropriate corporate governance in a company. And for directors, the role and duty include directors manages complaint affairs, acting in the best interest. Their duties actually include exercising care and skill, acting within power, um, avoiding conflict of interest, and promoting company success. And they set strategic direction and oversees performance. And you could see they perform the various duties such as duty of care and skill, also fiduciary duty. They also perform duty to act within their powers, and also they perform duty to avoid conflicts of interest and duty to promote company success. These are the duties that they actually um, perform as directors. For shareholders now, they own the company and contribute capital to the company and the start of the business or the company, and even as in terms of the financing of the business. So they influence governance through voting on key issues, uh, and as per dividend information and attending of meetings. So their approval is vital for major corporate decisions, and they exercise rights such as right to vote, rights to dividends, rights to information, right to attend meetings, and the right to sue for wrongdoings. For the complaint secretary, he or she performs the role also of ensuring legal, regulatory, and procedural compliance, and they support the board, advise on governance, and also act as a liaison between the board, shareholders, and regulators. And also, such a person in the role ensures obligation under company law are met. They also support the board in terms of preparing agendas, minutes, and advising on legal matters. Also, they provide guidance on best practices and ethical standards that guides the business operation, and they bridge communication between the stakeholders or stakeholders. And lastly, they safeguard important company documents, and this is very, very important role that a secretary play for the company. We have the board of directors, which uh, is composed of a number of directors. So the board oversees management and ensures compliance. It's composed of this executive and non-executive directors, and also we have the independent directors and nominee directors, and they perform each of their roles according to how it has been stated. For executive directors, they are full-time employees involved in daily management of the operations of the company. We also have the non-executive directors, which provide strategic directions, independent judgments, and oversight over the company. We have the independent directors, which are the non-executive directors free from material relationship, ensuring impartiality. So they do not really have a relationship. They have this clear form from the company, but they show impartiality when they operate with the company. And we have the nominee directors. So these are appointed by specific shareholders to represent their interest in the business. We have the power of the board and functions of the board of directors, and board possess broad power derived from legislations, article of association, and stakeholders resolution. They manage and direct company affairs, ensuring alignment with long-term goals. And those that they perform, the power and functions are strategic management and oversight, which is setting strategic and approving major business decision. Also, they um, ensure they perform executive appointment and supervision, which is appointing and overseeing senior executive. They also perform the financial oversight, which is approving budgets, financial statements, and dividend policies. Also, they act in compliance and risk management, that is ensuring legal and regulatory adherence to the various laws and regulations that guides the company. And also corporate governance and policy setting, the establishing internal policies on ethics and CSR, corporate the CSR. So, and then we have the major transactions, approving merger, acquisition, and capital raising. And lastly, calling shareholders um, meeting. They have the function of power to convey AGMs, annual general meetings, and EGMs, proposing resolutions at any time they need to do that. Shareholders' rights and corporate meetings. There are rights that shareholders actually have, and as company owners, they have protected rights under statutory law and governance framework, as we've actually said it in past slides. And the right to vote on significant corporate matters, right to dividend when declared, right to information, including financial statements, right to call meetings and propose resolutions, and right to participate in corporate meetings. And we have the meetings that actually they can, that is involved, just like it's been said also, we have the annual general meeting. This is the mandatory yearly meeting for public companies to present financial performance, elect directors, and declare dividends. And we also have the extraordinary general meeting, which is conveyed for urgent or significant matters between AGM, such as merger or director removal. The corporate resolution and compliance. Corporate resolutions are formal, legally binding decisions by the board or shareholders. So compliance ensures adherence to the statutory and regulatory requirements, which mitigates legal risk. So for corporate resolution, we have the ordinary resolution and the special resolution. For the ordinary resolution, it requires a simple majority of over 50% for routine decisions. Actually, and for special resolutions, it requires a higher threshold, usually about 75% plus, for critical matters like constitutional amendment or merger. And all resolutions must be documented and, in many cases, filed with relevant regulatory bodies. And as per the compliance, um, there is need for filing obligations, that is annual returns, financial statements. Also, there is need for tax compliance, that is the process of remitting taxes, and also adherence to corporate governance code, anti-money laundering, and KYC, and also the directors and officers' duty, that is avoiding breach. These are the compliance that are necessary to be known for complaints, and failure to comply can result in penalties, loss of legal standing, or dissolution of such complaint. In conclusion, corporate governance serves as the backbone of modern business organization, ensuring accountability, transparency, and ethical management while balancing the interest of stakeholders. Just like we said, we have the shareholders, the directors, the employees, and the regulators. And we've been able to explore every of this. So by understanding this governance framework, you gain critical insight into how companies operate within legal boundaries, mitigating risk, and achieving long-term sustainability in a dynamic global business environment. Thank you.